Good evening and welcome to the A Walk Through Education Global Intellectual Exchange Quarter 2 2026. Today we gather as change makers united by shared commitment to transforming education and empowering minds. Our theme for this session is the role of curiosity and inquiry in deep learning. And this invites us to reflect on one of the most powerful forces in education, the ability to ask questions, to explore, and to seek understanding beyond the surface. Deep learning is no longer about memorization, it's about meaning, connection, and application. And at the heart of it lies curiosity. That spark that drives or the spark that drives innovation, and we also have inquiry, the pathway that leads to discovery. As educators and leaders, our responsibility is not just to provide answers, but to nurture the courage in our learners to ask meaningful questions, to think critically, and to become lifelong seekers of knowledge. When curiosity is ignited and inquiry is sustained, learning becomes transformative. Today's session promises to be rich, insightful, and impactful as we hear from our distinguished speakers who will share diverse perspectives and practical insights on how we can embed curiosity and inquiry into our teaching and learning spaces. As we begin, I encourage each one of us to listen actively and reflect deeply and also engage thoughtfully. And on this note, it is my honor and privilege to officially declare the session open. Thank you and welcome once again. And I'm going to start the session by welcoming Dr. Kamal Chandra Lohani as he takes over the floor to speak on his topic. Dr. Kamal, the floor
Thank
is
you.
yours.
Thank, thank you, ma'am. Thank you. And good evening. Warm greetings and namaskar from my side and from India. Thank you very much, respected Gloria, ma'am, and our Nalini, ma'am, and there are Laila, ma'am, and there are so many great speakers and dignitaries here. Thank you very much for giving me the first opportunity to speak. So I would like to start with a line that great learners are not those who know the most. Great learners are not those who know the most, but those who question the most. So, curiosity and inquiry play a vital role in deep learning by transforming students from passive recipients of information into active seekers of knowledge. And curiosity sparks interest and motivates learners to ask questions, explore ideas, and connect concepts beyond the surface level. When students are curious, they engage more deeply, retain information longer, and develop a genuine love for learning. Inquiry provides a structured way to explore that curiosity, and through questioning, investigating, and reflecting, learners or students develop critical thinking and problem solving skills. And together, curiosity and inquiry promote a meaningful understanding, creativity, and independent thinking. They help learners build connections and apply knowledge in real life situations, which is essential for deep learning. Sustainability education becomes truly powerful when driven by curiosity. And instead of simply teaching facts about the environment, it encourages learners to ask meaningful questions like why, what, and how. So these questions ignite awareness and responsibility. Curiosity transforms students into active thinkers and problem solvers. It pushes them to explore real world challenges such as climate change. Through inquiry, learners move beyond knowledge to actions, finding solutions, making informed choices, and influencing others. So, in the end, I would like to say when education inspires questions, it builds a mindset of care, creativity, and responsibility. Sustainability then is not just a concept to study, but a way of thinking and living where every question becomes the beginning of the positive change And I must say, curiosity is the spark that turns transformation into understanding. And deep learning begins not with answers, but with the meaningful questions. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thanks a lot. Thank you very much, ma'am. And thank
Thank
you,
you very
everybody.
much.
Thank,
Thank you very much, Ambassador.
thank you, ma'am.
Just on time. Hold on. Okay. Thank you very much for linking curiosity with sustainability and inspiring us to raise environmentally conscious learners. Indeed, the curiosity sparks interest and motivates learners to ask questions, explore ideas, and connect concepts beyond the surface level. Thank you very much for that brilliant presentation. We truly appreciate. I'm going to quickly move over to our next speaker, Ambassador Nalini Astana, as she speaks on women, curiosity, and change, leading transformative learning spaces. Over to you, Ambassador Nalini.
A very happy evening to one and all. My throat is on toss, so I'm very sorry for that.
Okay.
Please, uh, yeah. and my salute to Radiant Rania ma'am, Kamal sir, Laila ma'am, and our beautiful Yala ma'am, Mariam, Osama, and everybody present here. Thank you so very much. And I'm really happy to be back here on my page. It's my page. My maybe glorious page, but it's my page. It's our page, basically. Okay, thank you. And we are talking about women and the transforming learning space. Women, curiosity and change makes the this. So when a woman asks a question and world quietly begins to change. The moment the woman asks a question, the life begins to get a change. Curiosity has always been the spark of transformation. And when women leads with curiosity, they don't just seek answer, they reshape the spaces, system, and make stories which are valuable for the lives to come. So, in that connect, if we say today's women are not just participant in learning spaces, they are the architects of transformation. Their question changes the status and it becomes, why is this done in this manner? Our question is always like this: why is this done in this manner? Where the where is the voice missing? So, how can learning become more human, more inclusive, and more meaningful? Let's take an example of a classroom. A classroom where a woman educator notices the quietest child also and makes the child participate and tries to understand why the child is not present mentally there. Physically, the child is there, but mentally, the child is not there. So, for that sake, also, the teacher, the educator knocks the child and tries to bring that child in the mainstream. She tries to teach that child or to make that child understand things with reflective circles. Just one sec, please. Sorry for that. गेट खोल के रख दीजिए प्लीज. Take classrooms, for example. A woman educator can notice a quiet child not participating. So, in this manner, she tries to make the child understand, and suddenly that silent child finds his voice to talk about. So, in leadership spaces, women are reimagining learning beyond textbook. A school leader may ask, are we preparing children for exams or for life? These kind of questions nowadays we educators are trying to make it out, and these questions leads to integrating life skills, uh, emotional intelligence and global citizenship into everyday learning. So, even in communities, women are creating powerful shifts from teaching digital literacy to mothers to building safe dialogue spaces for adolescents. Curiosity becomes a bridge between what is and what can be. So curiosity, when nurtured, becomes courage, and courage when led by women becomes the change. And that's all which I would like to say. So, when a woman asks a question, she is not just seeking answers, she is opening the doors for generation and generation to walk through. A walk through education, a walk through life, which we are doing. Thank you so very much for giving me this opportunity, and I'm happy to talk about this.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Ambassador Nalini, for inspiring transformative leadership among women. Indeed, communities, women are creating powerful shifts from teaching digital literacy, just as you said, to mothers who are building safe dialogue spaces for their adolescent children. Curiosity becomes a bridge between what is and what can be. I just quoted you directly. Amazing presentation. Thank you very much for that. We appreciate you. And I'm going to move over to Dr. Leoncio Calderon as he speaks on another important topic. Just a minute. Okay, assessment for
Okay,
deep learning, measuring curiosity and inquiry, not just content. Over to you, sir.
thank you, Dr. Gloria from the Philippines. It's almost 11 past 11 here in the evening. Thank you for inviting me once again, and to all our co-educators around the world. Let's talk about something simple yet very powerful in learning: curiosity. Curiosity starts with a question. A child asks, "Why is the sky blue?" Or, "What will happen if I mix many colors?" These questions may look trivial or small, but they open the door to deeper thinking. At St. Mark Integrated School, where I serve as its vice principal, we see curiosity not as a distraction, but as the beginning of real learning. In our classrooms, whether online, on site, or at home, learning does not begin with answers. It begins with inquiry. Inquiry means asking questions, exploring ideas, and thinking about possibilities. When students ask questions, they're not just receiving information, they are building their own understanding. For example, instead of telling a student how a story ends, a teacher may ask, "What do you think will happen next?" This simple question invites the learner to think, to imagine, and to connect ideas. That is deep learning. It goes beyond memorizing facts. It helps students make meaning. At Smith, we believe that every child is capable, competent, and unique. Curiosity allows each learner to express that uniqueness. Some students ask many questions. Others observe quietly and reflect before speaking. Both are forms of inquiry. Both are respected. Now, let's look at the role of teachers. Teachers are not just sources of information, they are facilitators. They guide students in asking better questions. A teacher may say, "That's a good question. What do you think is the answer?" This shifts the focus from teacher centered to learner centered thinking. In this way, the classroom becomes a safe space. Students are not afraid to make mistakes. They are encouraged to try, to think, and to explore. This aligns with our commitment to nurturing environment where expectations are high yet achievable. Curiosity and inquiry also connect to real life meaning. When students work on projects like integrated learning tasks or performing tasks, they're not just completing requirements. They're applying ideas. They are solving problems. They're asking, "How can I use what I learned in real situations?" For instance, in social studies or Araling Panlipunan in our own language, instead of just memorizing dates, a student may ask, "How do these events affect our community today?" That question leads to deeper reflection and understanding. Even in online learning, curiosity remains active. During synchronous classes, teachers ask open-ended questions. During asynchronous tasks, students explore topics at their own pace. In all learning modes, whether at home or in school, curiosity is present. Parents play an important role as well. At home, when a child asks a question, the response does not always need to be answered. Sometimes the best response is, let's find out together. This builds a habit of inquiry. It teaches the child that learning is not limited to the classroom. At Smiths, we aim to develop lifelong learners. A lifelong learner is someone who continues to ask questions, seeks answers, and grow. Curiosity supports this goal. It keeps learning active and meaningful. Let's reflect for a moment. When a student asks a question, do we listen? Do we encourage it? Do we create space for thinking? When a teacher asks a question, does it invite reflection or does it only check for answers? When a parent hears a question at home, do they respond with patience and openness? These small actions shape how a child views learning. Curiosity leads to discovery. Inquiry leads to understanding. When both are present, learning becomes deeper, more personal, and more lasting. At St. Mark Integrated School, we continue to guide our learners with excellence, compassion, and integrity. Through curiosity and inquiry, we help them become thinkers, problem solvers, and individuals who can apply what they learned to make a difference in their community. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. And mabuhay.
Mabuhay, thank you very much for challenging us to rethink how we measure through learning. Indeed, learning does not begin with answers, it begins with inquiries. And inquiry means, just like you said, inquiry means asking questions, exploring ideas, and thinking about possibilities. When students ask questions, they are not just receiving information, they are building their own understanding. Thank you very much for that. We appreciate your presentation. And moving on,
Thank you, Dr. Lai.
you're welcome. You're welcome, sir. All right, I'm going to be welcoming our next speaker. And okay, I'm going to welcome Ambassador Miriam Salihu Suleiman as she speaks on the topic. Please, sorry, I need to get your topic. She's going to be speaking on curiosity as a catalyst for girls' education and leadership. Over to you, Ambassador Miriam.
Good evening, ma'am.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. And Dr. Gloria, I like as these days you've been giving me questions that revolve around girls' education.
Thank
Let me
you.
begin with a simple question. What happens when a girl starts asking why? Not just memorizing, not just obeying, but questioning, exploring, and thinking deeply. That single question, why, is the beginning of transformation. Curiosity is not just a trait, it is a learning engine. Every child is born curious, but somewhere along the way, especially for many girls, that curiosity is silenced. Don't talk too much, just listen, don't question elders, and slowly the spark fades away. But deep learning does not happen through silence, it happens through inquiry, exploration, and engagement. And as educators, we must shift from do you understand to what do you think? For girls, curiosity is not just academic, it is empowering. When a girl is curious, she begins to think independently, she challenges limiting beliefs, she sees possibilities beyond her environment. Curiosity gives her voice. And when girls have a voice, they become problem solvers, decision makers, and leaders. Leadership does not start in adulthood, it starts in the classroom and the environment. A curious girl asks questions, seeks solutions, and takes initiative. These are not just learning skills, they are leadership skills. If we want to raise future female leaders, we must first raise curious learners. Now, the question is, how do we nurture curiosity in girls? Safe to speak, feel encouraged to ask, and feel free to explore. In our classroom, let these girls lead conversations, let them lead discussions, give them problem solving tasks, celebrate questions, not just answers. At home and in the society, listen to them, support their ideas, believe in their potential. Then, as an educator, I have seen firsthand how a curious child transforms. A quiet girl who once sat at the back becomes the one raising her hand. A hesitant learner becomes confident enough to lead others. And that is the power of curiosity. Let me leave you with these thoughts. If you educate a girl, you educate a nation. But if you ignite her curiosity, you empower her to transform that nation. So let us not teach girls what to learn. Let us teach them how to think, how to question, and how to lead. Because the future does not belong to those who memorize, it belongs to those who are curious enough to change the world. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ambassador Miriam, for highlighting how curiosity can unlock confidence and leadership in girls. And your message is both timely and transformative. When a girl is curious, she begins to think independently, she challenges limiting beliefs, she also sees possibility beyond her environment as curiosity gives her the voice. Thank you very much for that. I also like that aspect at what you mentioned. You said leadership does not start in adulthood. It starts in the classroom and the environment and at a young age. And when girls have a voice, they become problem solvers, decision makers, and leaders as well. Thank you very much for that. We appreciate your presentation. And I'm going to move over to our next speaker, Ambassador Laila Taik, as she speaks on curiosity and peace building, using inquiry to foster understanding and unity. The floor is yours, Ambassador Laila.
Hello, everybody. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Yes, thank you very much, and good evening, to everyone. It's truly an honor to be part of you all in the Walk Through Education Global Intellectual Exchange for Q2 2026, and to share this space with such inspiring educators and global voices. Today, I would like to speak about curiosity and peace building using inquiry to foster understanding and unity. Let me begin with the simple idea that curiosity is one of the most powerful human qualities we have. And I like what Mariam has just said. Curiosity is not just a question, an act of question for women, but also in an empowering tools. This is what I really like and I appreciate about what Mariam has said. It is also, as I said, it is what drives us to ask questions, to explore, and to understand the world and to understand each other. But in education, we sometimes focus on more on answers to know than to ask questions. And when curiosity is limited, so the understanding is also limited. As educators, we are not just teaching content, we are shaping minds, attitudes, and perspectives. And in a world that is increasingly diverse and sometimes divided, we need more than knowledge. We need empathy, we need dialogues, we need to communicate, we need also mutual respect and understanding. Now we are talking about global citizenship. So this is where inquiry becomes essential when we encourage students to ask why and how and what. If we are not only developing critical thinking, we are opening doors to deeper human inquiry invites students to listen, to reflect, to see beyond uh, their own experiences. For example, in my own teaching in practice, I have seen how simple questions can transform a classroom. Why do we people see things differently? What can we learn from another culture? How can language brings us closer? So in my case, I was doing a cultural exchange pen pal project. So through that global collaborative projects, so students they have answers many differences, how other parts of the world they eat, how they live, how they think. So these are all implicit questions. They are written on pen pal letters. So these questions do more than teach language, they build bridges. Curiosity, when guided like in such learning with a tool for peace building, it helps learner move to understanding, from assumption to awareness. And peace building does not always start at a global level. It starts in our classrooms, in the way students interact, in the respect they show in groups or peers, and in their willingness to understand others. As teachers, I think we can create safe spaces where students feel asking questions, expressing ideas, and engage in meaningful dialogues. We can design activities that promote collaboration, change, and reflections. We can integrate real world issues and encourage students to think critically and compassionately. Because when with curiosity, they also learn to connect with humanity. In the end, our goal is not owners, but to empower thoughtful, open-minded individuals who can contribute to a more peaceful and united world. So I think let's continue to nurture this curiosity to our learners, and let us value questions as much as we value answers. Answers. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ambassador Laila, for connecting inquiry with peace building and mutual understanding. You highlighted that inquiry becomes essential when we encourage students to ask why and how, and also ask what. Thank you very much for that. We appreciate your presentation. And I'm going to quickly move over to Dr. Mohammed Osama as he speaks on inquiry in science education, moving from memorization to exploration. Over to you, Dr. Mohammed.
Thank you. A very good evening to all from India.
Good evening.
Happy World Health Day. The theme is Together for Health, Stand with Science. अब तो मजहब कोई ऐसा भी चलाया जाए जिसमें इंसान को इंसान बनाया जाए. It's high time now that a religion be established, one in which man is truly made human. Thank you all for listening to me. Now I'm going to my topic. Inquiry-based science education represents a fundamental shift from traditional lecture-based classrooms centered on rote memorization to active student-driven exploration and investigation. By engaging in scientific inquiry, students learn to formulate questions, design experiments, collect evidence, and construct explanations about the natural world, rather than simply consuming facts and definitions. The shift from memorization to exploration. Traditional education. It focuses on learning about things where teachers deliver facts and students memorize information to reproduce on quizzes. Inquiry based learning. It focuses on learning things by doing. It prioritizes discovery and the understanding of the nature of science over passive knowledge acquisition. Active role. Students become investigators who formulate hypotheses and test them through experiments or observations. Teacher as facilitator. Teachers act as guides who scaffold learning and provide resources rather than acting as the sole authority delivering information. There are some core principles. Inquiry-based science is grounded in constructivist learning theory, which posits that learners build their own understanding through experience. Key components, student-driven questions. Learning begins with questions that are meaningful to students, often stem from personal experiences and curiosity. Evidence-based reasoning, students collect, analyze, and interpret data to develop explanations, often using scientific reasoning, logic, and imagination. Collaborate learning. Students typically work in groups to design investigations, share ideas, and critique each other's reasoning. Authentic scientific practices. Students engage in the same types of activities as scientists, including building models and communicating findings. The inquiry cycle framework. There are 5E model. Effective inquiry is not chaotic or unstructured. It is often follows 5E instructional model, providing scaffold for teachers while keeping students engaged. There are engaged, explore, explain, elaborate, or expand. The last one is evaluate. Ongoing assessment of student understanding through performance, tasks, journal, and reflections. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Have a nice day. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Osama, for shifting our focus from memorization to exploration in science. And by engaging, just like you said, by engaging in scientific inquiry, students learn to formulate questions, design experiments, and also collect evidence, and also construct explanation about the natural world rather than simply consuming facts. Thank you very much for that amazing fact that you've just presented to us now. We appreciate. Thank you. And I'm going to quickly move over to Ambassador Yala Padmaja as she speaks on early childhood curiosity, building foundations for lifelong inquiry. The floor is yours, Ambassador Yala Padmaja.
Thank you, ma'am. Good evening, Gloria ma'am, Rania ma'am, and Laila ma'am, and Jasmine ma'am, and all the outstanding speakers of this platform. My topic is early childhood curiosity, building foundation for inquiry. So curiosity, desire to learn new things. It is very natural in young children. It helps them understand the world around them. So what is curiosity? Curiosity is asking like why and how. Children are always eager to know more. So they observe things carefully. They try to explore new things and new. This supports learning from an early age. Next, importance of childhood. Early childhood is the most important of life. So the children brain develops very fast at age. Children learns through play and experience. The curiosity grows naturally. Next, this stage builds a strong learning foundation. Next, role of parents. Parents should encourage children to ask questions. They should listen patiently, and simply answer should be given. Parents can provide toys and books. Supportive creativity. Next, role of teachers. Teachers play a key role in developing curiosity. They should create a friendly classroom. Activities should be interesting and fun. Students should be encouraged to explore. Teachers should appreciate every question. Next, learning through play. Play is the best way for children to learn. Next, games help in thinking and creativity. Children learn problem solving skills without play keeps their curiosity active. Benefits of curiosity improves thinking skills. It builds confidence in children, and children become and they develop curiosity, creativity, and imagination. It prepares them for lifelong learning. In conclusion, curiosity is the key to learning. Early childhood is the best time to develop it. Parents and teachers should support children. Let children ask questions freely. Curious children become successful learners. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for giving me this wonderful opportunity, and thank you for listening to me.
Thank you very much, Ambassador Yala, for emphasizing the importance of nurturing curiosity from the earliest years. So, early childhood is the most important stage in life. And you also stated that the children's brain develop very fast at this stage. Children learn through play and experience, and their curiosity grows naturally. Thank you very much for that. We appreciate your presentation. And I'm going to quickly move over
Thank you.
to our next speaker, Dr. Rania. Dr. Rania, the floor is yours. Dr. Rania is going to be speaking on, let me get your question, Dr. Rania, your topic.
Good afternoon. You know, I'm very happy I can join now from the beginning.
Yeah,
So
we're,
he
we're,
went
we're very
well, you
happy
know.
to always have you from the beginning of the session. It's really awesome looking at your smiley face. And you're going to be speaking on
Yes, I
STEM,
was
curiosity,
mhm.
and creativity, designing inquiry-driven classrooms for the future. Over to you, Dr. Rania.
Thank you so much. Warm congratulations to all speakers so far, and I would like to greet everyone here. Jasmine, nice to see you here. Dianoli, Lala, Ms. Yala, Dr. Naid, everyone here. And yes, curiosity is at the heart of STEM education, and especially when STEM is, when curiosity is paired with inquiry-based approaches, then it can become a powerful engine for what educators call deep learning. What is deep learning? Is this process where learners actively construct knowledge, they connect ideas, and they apply understanding in real-world context. So curiosity is the spark of learning, is the starting point of all intellectual growth. From early childhood, humans are wired to ask why and how. And in educational settings, this nurturing this instinct is somehow essential. So when students are encouraged to explore their interests, obviously they become more engaged, more motivated, more invested in the learning journey. In disciplines like STEM, curiosity is something that fuels experimentation, problem solving, discovery. So there are several levels of inquiry in the classroom. How the structured inquiry, where teachers provide the question and process, while students discover the answers. This is what we call structured inquiry. We have the guided inquiry also, when teachers offer the question, but students design the investigation. And there is a third type of inquiry, the open inquiry, when students generate their own questions and methods, fostering independence and critical thinking. So each level gradually shifts responsibility to learners, preparing them for complex real-world problem solving. So deep learning actually has to do, of course, goes beyond memorization, but students who are engaged in deep learning, they can make connections between concepts, they can apply knowledge to new situations, they can reflect on their own understanding, so metacognition, and they can collaborate effectively. So how we can design inquiry-driven STEM classrooms? We need open-ended problems, present students with real-world challenges that do not have a single correct answer. So this encourage creativity and critical thinking. Second, we need to allow learners to pursue topics that interest them. So when students have ownership, engagement increases significantly. So we need the student voice and choice. Of course, collaborative learning, because group work fosters discussion, diverse perspectives, collective problem solving. All these are key components of deep learning. The integration of technology, because now the digital tools are a part of our educational practices, so they can enhance inquiry. If we can provide access to data, I think Mr. Mohammed Osama mentioned about data, providing access to data, simulations, so global collaboration opportunities. And reflective practices, because encouraging students to reflect on what and how they learn deepens understanding and builds metacognitive skills. In these inquiry-driven classrooms, of course, the teacher's role shifts here. What we can do is we can guide the discussion, we can ask always probing questions, we can support students as they navigate these learning paths. And this requires definitely flexibility, creativity, and willingness. So the ability to think critically, to adapt, innovate is more valuable now as we prepare learners for the future. And by fostering curiosity and embedding inquiry into the classroom, we can prepare students to succeed academically, but also to thrive in life. Thank you very much. And wish we again today productive and amazing session ahead. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Rania, for illuminating how curiosity fuels innovation in STEM. And your perspective reminds us that the future belongs to learners who are encouraged to explore, create, and question boldly. And in your own words, you say that in discipline like STEM, curiosity is something that fuels experimentation, problem solving, and discovery. Thank you very much for that amazing presentation. Thank you, we appreciate. And I'm going to quickly move over to Dr. Arjun Qureshi as she speaks on the art of asking, teaching students how to ask powerful questions. Over to you, Dr. Arjun.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. And greetings to everyone. It's really a great pleasure being on this platform. And yes, the topic that I have been given today is about how to encourage students to ask. That was really, again, another amazing thing. Because whenever someone asks a question, what we do is we and that is the first step towards learning. When we ask questions in the class, so the students, but what if they're reversed? Yes, ask helping the ask question is actually the to make them active learners rather than passive listeners. It will help the student to improve their clear doubts and build confidence. And so when the students ask questions, they think, connect ideas, and they develop problem solving skills, and it will encourage independent learning and prepare them to face real life challenges with curiosity and clarity. Today's era where technology is coming into and we say that AI over, that we know this technology era, the role of teachers is from being merely knowledge providers, averting to be facilitators and mentors. And the next thing that we should be doing is encouraging the students to ask. So to teach the students the art of asking not just questions but passes. The first thing that we have to do is we have to foster a culture of curiosity and ask questions, but freely. They should be asking questions. If we got the students, they will be in fear and they will not ask questions anymore. So we need a supportive environment that will be confidence among them while asking questions. We focus on open-ended questions. If we questions like yes or no, then I don't think it will be helping the students. So we have to teach the students go beyond this one way of yes or no, but the question should be like, why did this happen? How did this happen? What if this would have been done? What if this could work this way? So when we engage those kind of questions, so it will deepen understanding. The third is we need to develop critical thinking skills among them. Yes, of course. We need to guide the students to question the ideas. And we know that there is a lot of information around. So, how to analyze that information, how to explore different perspectives rather than accepting everything. Because when sometimes we can say that the tools that we are having, AI tools that we are having, the students are using it, but that is where the students are just collecting information instead of collecting information. It's just students to ask questions and to explore. If the students study that way, obviously they will becoming very good learners. Not just what they are something they're studying in class, but but with the art of questioning, they will develop themselves into very good learners, and that's how it will work. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you very much, Dr. Arjun, for that amazing presentation and for reminding us that powerful question leads to powerful learning. You highlighted that to teach the student the art of asking not just questions, but powerful questions, we have to foster a culture of curiosity and encourage the students to be curious and also ask more questions frequently. Thank you very much, Dr. Ajuri. Thank you. We appreciate your presentation. Thank you. And I'm going to move over to Ambassador Kwastinai as she speaks on curiosity in action, project-based learning as a tool for deep understanding. Over to you.
Hello, everyone. Good evening from Vietnam. My name is Quách Thị Nhàn and then can call me Teacher Jasmine. Okay. And so today I want to address a critical shift in education. How curiosity, when activated through projects, by learning becomes the foundation of deep understanding. Okay, let me start with a reality we cannot ignore. Our students are learning more content than ever before, but understanding less than ever before. And this is not a student problem, it's a design problem. And correct answer over meaningful question, speech over deeps, and memorization over thinking. And in doing so, we are not calling intelligence, we are standard designing competence. Let me be clear. Curiosity is not optional in education. It is a entry point to deep learning. But curiosity alone is not enough. It must be activated through inquiry, uh, the ability to act, investigate, and replace. And it's in most classroom, students are not trained to ask better questions. They are trained to avoid being wrong. So the challenge is in not improving instruction. The challenge is redesigning learning. This is where process-based learning becomes essential. Not at activity, not at once, but as learning architecture, because when work on need to remember and they start asking, that shifts everything. From my work across learning environments, effective project-based learning is not depend by projects, but by thinking structures. A high impact project always includes three elements: a real and driven problem, increase that require organized thinking, not replication, reflection that turn experience into understanding. Without this, we are not building deep learning, we are just creating busy classroom. And so what we must do as educator and leader, we must move from delivering content to engineering curiosity. We must design system where questions are valued more than quick answer. struggle is recognized as part of thinking, and learning is connected to real-world impact because deep understanding is not delivered, it is constructed. Let's be clear with this. The future will not belong to those who know the most. It belongs to those who can question deeply, learn continuously, and apply meaningfully. Curiosity is a part and equity is in process. And process-based learning is how we make it happen internationally, systematically, and at scale. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Can you hear me? Okay. Thank you, and the Kwach Tinai. Thank you for showing how project-based learning brings inquiry to life. Curiosity is not optional in your words in education. You said curiosity is not, it must be activated through interest. Our next speaker picks on leadership in education, driving a culture of curiosity and inquiry. Over to you, Dr. Paranga, Professor Paranga, sorry.
Good evening, everyone. Nice to see you again, ma'am. Okay, my topic for this
Good
evening is
evening.
leadership driving a culture of curiosity and inquiry. Okay, in many learning environments today, whether in classrooms, training rooms is often measured by how well individuals can memorize and repeat information. People attend seminars, complete requirements, and focus on what mainly are they encouraged to question, analyze, or challenge ideas. This brings us to an important question. Is this truly meaningful learning? Okay, leadership in education is no longer confined to schools or universities. It extends to organizations, government institutions, and professional environments. As someone who has been engaged in both government service and higher education, I have seen firsthand how learning cultures can either limit or empower individuals. In many ways, people are trained, but not always encouraged to question. Yet real progress happens when individuals are allowed to think critically and propose better ways of doing things. A culture of curiosity and inquiry begins with leadership. It starts when leaders shift from simply giving instructions to asking meaningful questions instead of asking, "Did you complete the task?" We should ask, "How can this improve?" or "What challenges did you or what solutions can you suggest?" This approach transforms compliance into engagement. The philosopher John Dewey emphasized that education is not preparation for life. Education is life itself. This reminds us that learning should be active, and deeply connected to the real world experiences, not confined to memorization or routine tasks. In both academic and professional settings, we must create environments where individuals feel safe to express ideas, ask questions, and even make mistakes because in real use, there are opportunities for learning and innovation. From my experience in higher education, I have seen students become more engaged when they are given the freedom to think and analyze. Similarly, in our organizational settings, professionals become more effective when they are empowered to contribute ideas rather than simply follow directives. There are practical ways to build this culture. Right? Encourage open communication, use real life problems, recognize initiative, support continuous learning, something like that. Leadership is not about having all the answers. It's about creating an environment where people are inspired to seek answers. Curiosity drives innovation. Inquiry strengthens decision making. As leaders, whether in education, government service, organizations, our role is not just to manage people, but to develop thinkers, problem solvers, and change makers. Let us remember, a culture of curiosity does not improve learning. It transforms organization and empowers people. Thank you very much again, ma'am, for giving me opportunity. Thank you for listening, everyone. Good evening.
Thank you very much. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you for emphasizing leadership in building curiosity or a culture of curiosity. And this reminds us that learning should be active, reflective, and deeply connected to the real world experiences that confine the memorization or routine tasks. Thank you very much, Professor Paranga. We appreciate your presentation. Thank you very much. And I'm going to move over to our next speaker for today. Okay, Ambassador Nahid Raza is going to be taking over the floor, and he's going to be speaking on global citizenship through inquiry, raising curious minds for a connected world. Over to you, Ambassador Nahid.
Raising curious minds for a connected world. My sincere gratitude to our leader and whatnot, Gloria ma'am, for giving us opportunity and for coining and framing such topics. And when word comes, curiosity, I remember Leonardo da Vinci. He had feverish curiosity. My respected, amazing speakers, my friends, my fellow educators, and dreamers of brighter tomorrow. I submit some points before you today, not with the fire of despair, but with the unquenchable flame of hope. We gather in this moment, in this connected world of ours, where wires weave our destinies and screens span the seas to proclaim a truth as old as the stars and as urgent as the dawn. We must raise curious minds, not mind souls huddled in shadows, but bold explorers, lighting the path to a globe. Please visualize, if you will, a child, a precious child, gazing at the glowing window of a smartphone, not lost in endless scrolls, but ignited with questions that pierce the veil of the unknown. Wider, the river in Brazil, flood when mind runs dry. It is not ideal wonder. This is the spark of curiosity that binds us in this connected world where a whisper in Agra echoes in New York. We cannot afford minds chained by ignorance. No. My brothers and sisters, we must raise curious minds. Minds that question, that connect, that dreams across borders. But oh, how the forces of apathy seek to dim this light. They tell us stick to the script, memorize the facts, fear the foreign. They build walls of rote learning, high and unyielding. While the world spins faster, linking hearts and histories in an unbreakable web. I have seen in it our school, in the very rise of youth who scroll without seeing, connect without caring. This is not freedom. This is cage disguised as comfort. We must rise up, educators and families united and declare no more. Let curiosity be our hammer, shattering those walls. Let caution be our bridge, spanning every divide. Please visualize with me a new dawn, a world where every child is a citizen of this globe, fluent in the language of wonder. They will collaborate with coders in Silicon Valley, heal with healers in Africa, innovate with inventors in Asia. They will not fear in strangers' story. They will embrace it. For curiosity is the great equalizer. It turns isolation into unity, division into destiny. And when that day comes, when curious minds lead us, we will look back and say, we did it. We raised them up. Thank you, thank you, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, our Martin Luther King of A Walk Through Education. Thank you for expanding our knowledge and understanding of beyond the classroom into the global citizenship. You have shown us that curious minds can truly connect and transform the world. In your very own words, you said we must raise curious minds, minds that question, that connect, and that dream across borders. Thank you very much. We always appreciate your presentation. God bless you. And moving on, I'm going to welcome Ambassador Nalam Achyuta Ramachandramurthy as he speaks on ethics, curiosity, and inquiry, guiding responsible thinking in learners. Over to you, Ambassador Nalam.
Thank you, ma'am. First, I am very thankful to our global CEO, Gloria ma'am, and all the respected dignitaries on the screen. My topic is very important topic nowadays. Uh, Ethics, curiosity, and inquiry, guiding responsibility. These are very important topics. Without salt, there is no delicious food. Similarly, without ethics, there is no education. So, ethics refers to principles that guide what is right and what is wrong. So, these are the ethics are depends on honesty, integrity, respect, and also responsibility. Ethics ensures that learning is a trustworthy and meaningful, not just about getting results. It is my opinion. So, and the next one is curiosity. So, curiosity is the very important in students' education because it is depends on what, why, where, there, how. These are the main concepts of curiosity. Um, why it's matter that drives motivation and also encourage creativity and also innovation. It helps the development of lifelong learning habits. So if the student asks any question in classroom, then we say that whether it is wrong or right. So it gives some curiosity and memorize the students education. So, and the next one is inquiry in learning is very important thing. So, inquiry is depends on so many aspects like ask questions and research or observation and also analyze the information, draw conclusions and also reflect and refine the education system. So, the inquiries depends on inquiries so many types. Just some inquiries are like scientific inquiry and also creative inquiry and also creative critical inquiry. Critical inquiry. So these are inquiries, terms, curiosity, and structured understandings. So how we work together. So it is clearly curiosity and the inquiry and the ethics are depends on students' nature. So, for example, why the water is polluted. So, in this connection, curiosity wonders about global warming and also inquire why it is happen. They study the data and collect the data and also they give scientific reports. So ethics in this connection avoid misinformation and also creates sources. So and the next one is the importance of responsible thinking. So together we help together the learners think critically and also independently and make information disconnection and also avoid biases and also misinformation. So it contributes the positively to the students and the society. So I conclude that ethics, curiosity, and inquiry from the foundation of responsible and effective learning is more important. It ensures that learning is not only about gaining knowledge but also about using is wisely. It is my opinion, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you for this giving wonderful opportunity to me. Thank you,
Oh,
ma'am.
Thank you very much, Ambassador Lala. Mute yourself, please. Okay. Sorry about that. Thank you for grounding curiosity within the ethical responsibility. And I love the words, this statement that you made, that without salt, there is no delicious food. And similarly, without ethics, there is no education. And you went ahead to define ethics as the principles that guide what is right and what is wrong. Thank you very much for all your presentation. I truly appreciate that. Thank you very much. And I'm going to move over to Dr. Sarika Kumari as she speaks on inquiry as inclusion, engaging every learner in deep learning experiences. Over to you, Dr. Sarika. The floor is yours.
Good evening, Gloria ma'am, respected uh, educators, moderators, and speakers around the world. Warm greeting to everyone. Today I'm honored to speak on the topic inquiry versus inclusion, engaging every learner in deep learning experience. Let me begin with a real experience from my own classroom. I asked my student a simple question. What do tree gives us? Some students quickly responded oxygen, fruits, and shade. But one child remained quiet. After a while, that child drew a beautiful picture in the notebook, a tree with birds, a nest, and a swing. When I asked the child to explain, that responses was, "Ma'am, tree also given us homes and happiness." In that moment, I realized something very important. Every child thinks deeply, but expresses differently. That is inquiry. And when we give a space to every child to express in their own class, when we ask a question, let me share another example. In a mathematics class, when we ask a question, some students answer immediately, while other stay silent. Not because they don't know, but because they need time to think. If we provide think time, pair discussions, or allow them to express through drawing or activities, those same students begin to engage more deeply. In my own teaching practice, when I introduce learning through play activities, students who were usually passive become active participants. They started connecting concept with real life understanding. This made me realize every learner wants to learn. We just need to reach them in the right way. So, what should we do as educators? Create a safe and supportive environment, provide multiple ways of learning and expressing, and most importantly, listen to every learner. To conclude, I would like to say inquiry gives direction to thinking and inclusion ensures that every learner is a part that journey when both come together. Truly, let us commit not just to asking question, but to ensuring that every child gets the opportunity to explore, express, and grow. Thank you. This is the opinion of today's topic. Thank you very much to listen me patiently. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sarika. Thank you for highlighting how inquiry can create space for every learner to thrive. In your words, you say that every learner thinks deeply, but expresses their opinions differently. And that is inquiry when we give them the opportunity to ask questions, they learn differently. And in your conclusion, you also say that inquiry gives direction to thinking and inclusion ensures that every learner is part of that journey. Thank you very much, Ambassador Dr. Sarika Kumari. As we move over to our
Thank you,
next,
ma'am.
you're welcome. Let's move over to our next speaker, Ambassador Ganesh Kanda Gatla, and he's going to be speaking on technology and curiosity, leveraging digital tools for inquiry-driven learning. Over to you, Ambassador Ganesh.
Thank you, madam. Thank you very much. So, good evening, madam. Good evening, all the esteemed educators, global intellectuals, and all the participants. Today, I feel honored to speak on a very meaningful and relevant topic: technology curiosity, leveraging digital tools for inquiry-driven learning. Curiosity is the foundation of learning. Every child is naturally curious. They ask questions like why, how, what. These questions are not just simple doubts, they are the seeds of knowledge and innovation. In earlier days, learning was mostly limited to textbooks and classrooms. But today, technology has opened a new world of opportunities. With the digital tools, learning has become more interactive, engaging, and meaningful. Technology helps students not just to learn answers, but to explore questions. This is what we call inquiry driven learning. Instead of memorizing facts, students investigate, analyze, and discover knowledge on their own. For example, a student who wants to learn about the solar system can now watch videos, explore simulations, and even take virtual tours of space. This creates excitement and deep understanding. Digital tools such as smart boards, educational apps, online quizzes, and virtual labs are helping teachers make lessons more interesting. As a teacher, I believe that when curiosity meets technology, true learning happens. However, we must also remember that technology is only a tool. The real power lies in how we use it. Teachers should guide students to use technology wisely, not just for entertainment, but for exploration and creativity. Let us encourage our students to ask questions, to be curious, and to use technology as a pathway to knowledge, because a curious mind supported by the right tools can achieve great things. Finally, I would like to ask a question. Will AI replace, AI means artificial intelligence, replace the teacher? After these many years in the classroom, my answer is a firm no. Technology can provide information, but it cannot provide inspiration. It can provide data, but it cannot provide empathy. Thank you, madam. Thank you, Anandal, for giving this golden opportunity.
Thank you very much for that amazing presentation. Thank you for showing us how technology can enhance inquiry when used intentionally. Technology helps students not just to learn about machines or other things, but to explore questions. And this is what we call inquiry-driven learning. And also in your statement, I love the example you gave how students can learn how to learn about the solar system using technology in the right way. Thank you very much for that. We appreciate your presentation. God bless you. And I'm going to be moving over to Dr. Gloria Okbara. Dr. Gloria Okbara, as she speaks on teacher as facilitator, nurturing curiosity in diverse learning environments. Over to you, Dr. Okbara.
Good evening, Dr. Gloria and other professors in the house. Thank you for this opportunity. Teacher as a facilitator, not the leader and impostor. Thank you for that. Teacher's role evolves daily. So it's very important that we realize our roles. It can move from knowledge transmitter to learning facilitator. You just set the ball and the children will roll it to the posts where you have placed somewhere as your achievement for the day or the duration. This is due to different backgrounds. Let's take note that now we are teaching different learners who have different abilities from different culture, belief system, and learning styles. Just like one of the speakers just said, somebody had to draw instead of answering orally. What's the aim? We are looking at changing the mindset. That's the main thing, whether mindset of the teacher or that of our learners. That's the basic thing. Once a mindset is changed from known to unknown or known to known, it can be either way right now. Teachers should check out. It's gone beyond when we insist it's from known to unknown or anything. It can be the other way. Now, beyond covering scheme to guiding learners to discover potentials. Like that madam said, when she saw the diagram, it made her to realize something. These days, teachers can even learn from the learners while trying to impart knowledge into them. To nurture curiosity, teachers should take note of the following. Let's ensure the space is safe for learners to be seen, heard, and can explore ideas. Let's ensure we promote inclusive practices. We can't lay emphasis enough on that. We should ensure learning is accessible to all, not to some. We should engage learners meaningfully, like the last professor just talked about technology. They can use them meaningfully. We should encourage growth mindset. That's very important. Errors should be allowed to be part of the learning process. We should also promote PBL, the project-based learning. It helps to stimulate deeper thinking and to sustain interest in those learners. We should thoughtfully apply technology to amplify curiosity. When you make them, today I wanted to teach my learners about Microsoft Word that's so common. They were expecting me to ask them to just open the system, boot the system, and just open to type as usual. But when I took them through other means of achieving shortcut keys they are used to, applying the Cambridge pattern, they were like, wow. So at the end, I was able to achieve same topic they are used to because it's a revision class, but not the same pattern. And at the end, I asked a simple question: who learned a new thing? Which some of them indicated that interest with joy that they learned something. So that is what we are looking at. Let's connect learners to global perspective. And at the end, what will it help us? Their voices will go beyond the classroom. Therefore, teachers must have what? Empathy. Empathy, guidance. I end on this note. Facilitator should recognize diversity as a resource for richer learning. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Gloria Okpara, for that amazing presentation. Thank you for reminding us that the teacher's role is to guide, not to dominate the learning, not to dominate the learning journey. And you also say that we should ensure that the space is safe, and for learners to be seen, learners to be heard, and also for them to explore new ideas. And I also like the aspect where you say that let us ensure that we promote inclusive practices. We should ensure that learning is accessible to all, not just some, maybe the privileged over the less privileged. Thank you very much, Dr. Gloria. We appreciate your presentation. And I'm going to quickly move over to the next speaker, Ambassador Nilam Saxena, as she speaks on policy and practice, institutionalizing inquiry-based learning systems. Over to you, Ambassador Nilam Saxena.
Good evening to one and all present here. Namaste, India. Education is not learning of facts, but the training of the mind to think, said by Albert Einstein. The quote beautifully reflects the essence of inquiry-based learning, where students are not just passive receivers of the information, but active seekers of knowledge. So, my today's topic is institutionalizing inquiry-based learning. Inquiry-based learning is an approach that encourages students to ask questions, explore, investigate, and construct their own understanding. Instead of simply memorize facts, learners become curious thinkers, problem solvers, and innovators. The question arises behind it how we can make our children curious, how we can create an atmosphere by which the students can start to ask questions, how they can explore their ideas. So, first of all, we should generate an atmosphere. It should be hesitation free. Hesitation should not be there. Afterwards, the students can ask, they can explore, they can share, they can discuss freely. But the real challenge lies not just in adopting this approach occasionally, but institutionalize it, making it a consistent and integral part of our education system. As I have already said, the atmosphere we have to make hesitation free. As Dr. Sarika has given some examples of learners, and Nallam sir has given also many of the examples how the students can ask the question on different topics. To institute learning with a shift teach first of all move as facilitators, and classroom should transform into the spaces of discussion and exploration and creativity. If creative atmosphere is there, we can find that so many students they can come forward to show their creativity and to ask the question related to creativity. When the first of all, the child wants to take your attraction. The child wants to show their creativity. The child wants to know appreciation. If small achievements of the children we are watching deeply and we are appreciating step by step, I think the students will get the atmosphere to prove themselves freely without any hesitation. As well as the curriculum design must support the inquiry also. Activities, experiments, group discussion, and real life problem solving should into daily teaching. Technology can also be a very vital role, can play the very vital role in this curiosity-based atmosphere. So, in conclusion, institutionalizing inquiry-based learning is not a one-time effort, but continuous journey. It requires commitment and commitment from the educators, support from institutions, and enthusiasm from students, as well as from the parent side. And the same, what I have already repeated, hesitation-free atmosphere is required. Thank you very much to all of you, and respected Gloria ma'am, thank you so much to giving such a nice topic to everyone. And thanks to Rania ma'am to make the atmosphere laughing with her smiling face. Thank you very much. Thanks to all.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Ambassador Neelam, for bridging the gap between policy and classroom practice. And I love the quote by Albert Einstein that says, education is not learning of facts, but the training of the mind to think. And I also like what you said that if teachers create a creative atmosphere, if the atmosphere is very creative, we can find that so many students can look for can bring forth their creativity in them through asking creative questions. Thank you very much, Ambassador Nilam. Thank you. We appreciate your presentation. And I'm going to quickly move over to Ambassador Aklinia, Fatima, Aklinia. And Ambassador Aklinia, you're going to be presenting
Yes,
on Curiosity Beyond Borders, Youth Empowerment Through Inquiry and Innovation. The floor is yours.
thank, thank you very much. Bismillah Rahman Rahim. Good evening, everyone. First of all, I'm very happy to see Dr. Gloria again, and I'm elated that I am receiving such prolific insights from all of the illuminating catalyst. And by the way, when there was the first quarter ended, I admitted that this platform has developed really patience inside me. This very weight of the turn, and being on the toes that any moment Dr. Gloria is going to announce the name is a new thing which you have inculcated me inside me. So thank you very much. uh, I'm very elated to deal with this topic, and I want to begin with certain proverbial things which we all grew up with. We heard saying that frog in the well. I mean, a person, anybody who is not welcoming to the new ideas or doesn't want to grow, we say frog in the well. We also say a dead fish goes with the flow. Again, we are hinting towards any person who doesn't want to grow is actually like a dead, because not welcoming the new ideas, not adapting with the contemporary trends and advancements and new resources, knowledge and everything. Then there is also one more thing. There's an anecdote I grew up with, that my parents used to tell me that there is a bird in the cage, and even if you open the door at times, the bird prefers to stay inside, because that bird does not want to take a risk to breach that limit and explore the world. So that bird remains, with that psyche, remains caged. And then, last but not the least, there in the past months there was viral on social media, that penguin story. To be very honest, I think I am an odd in the whole universe, because everybody was promoting that penguin story as if that one odd penguin went to another way, as a depression, pessimism, and all that. I don't know, because the contemporary scenario was that distressful, that everybody perceived that one penguin going another direction, maybe that penguin is done with the life. No, why didn't we perceive that one odd penguin wanted to explore something, wanted to go another way to explore? So again, so that why I am sharing all these proverbial expressions, this anecdote, because there is a link um, between these anecdotes with my today's topic, and that is youth empowerment through inquiry and innovation. Again, one speaker rightly mentioned, with that tree, inquiry. Similarly, why apples are always considered red? I'm also very fond of green apples. Why apples can't be green in the textbooks? So again, there's a variety, the variety to the ideas, especially in this age. So when curiosity goes beyond limits, then youth begins to question, explore, and create. Inquiry basically builds critical thinking, which is the main for innovation. It turns ideas. That stage is reached when youth becomes empowered to lead and shape the future. The question is how we can attain it. That's $1 million question. How we can have it. We can have it with inquiry based learning, problem solving tasks, group works. Then again, we can ensure, as educators or as educationists, we can ensure safe and congenial media, an environment, a setup where students are free to question, are free to disagree with an agreement, and they're free to object anything. Then again, we can make them, compelled to use any, up-to-date resources, gadgets, so that they could, experiment, they could explore, and then they can be given such assignments where there is a diversity of the groups. When there is a diversity of the groups, then again, there will be a kind of not only the exploration or innovation in terms of in the walk of education, but again, exploring each other, exploring new ideas. My PhD topic is actually about that, Mesitra, one common ground. It's, despite of, other bounds and everything. So there is no boundary. Being a PhD scholar, for me, there is no boundary. Just one ground. And then again, if I just conclude my topic, so I'll be saying this, that if we give youth freedom to ask, freedom to question, freedom to disagree, and then we facilitate them with the tools to experiment, to create, and also empower them with that much confidence to lead, then definitely we're going to have youth which will definitely be empowered and do miracles in the walk of education. Thank you from my side.
Thank you very much, Ambassador Aklinia. Thank you for emphasizing youth empowerment through inquiry and innovation. And I love the part where you say that when curiosity goes beyond limits, the youth begins to question, explore, and create. And you also say that inquiry basically builds critical thinking, which is the main part of innovation, which later on turns ideas into action. Thank you very much for that. We appreciate your presentation. And I'm going to move over to...
Honored.
You're welcome. I'm going to move over to Professor Dr. Shaino Banji as she speaks on curriculum design for curiosity, embedding inquiry across disciplines. Over to you, Professor Shaino.
Thank you, Dr. Gloria. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Curriculum design for curiosity embeds inquiry across disciplines by starting with open-ended, real-world problems that fuel student exploration, active investigation, and choice. This approach shifts responsibility to learners to gather evidence, apply critical thinking across subjects, and connect abstract concepts to authentic experiences, fostering a classroom environment of awe and wonder. Now let's see what are the key strategies for embedding inquiry across disciplines. 1. Start with what if. Initiates units with powerful questions or scenarios that spark curiosity, such as investigating local pollution or creating a curiosity corner with authentic natural resources. Secondly, interdisciplinary integration. Subjects by using themes like sustainability or technology to drive inquiry across science, literacy, and numeracy, rather than treating them as isolated silos. Thirdly, students-generated investigations. Dedicate specific time for students to ask these questions following a lesson, promoting independent inquiry and student voice. Fourthly, inquiry-based assessment. Design assessments that reward investigation rather than rote memorization, such as presentations, case studies, or student-led projects. Fifth, structuring the experience. Utilize varying inquiry methods, be it structured, guided, or open, where teachers guide investigation initially before moving towards student-centered exploration. Now let's see what are the key principles for success. First, shift pedagogical focus. Move from lecturing content to facilitated learning, where teachers support students in constructing knowledge rather than merely receiving it. Secondly, leverage evidence. Encourage learners to support their findings by analyzing and presenting evidence. With my time up, I would like to end here. I thank you all for listening to me so attentively. May God bless us all. Thank you, Dr. Gloria.
Thank you, Professor Shanu. Thank you for that amazing presentation. Thank you for showing us how curriculum can intentionally nurture inquiry. And I specifically like the aspect where you talked about design, how to inquiry-based assessment, where you said we should design assessment that reward investigation rather than rote memorization, such as presentation, case studies, and student-led projects. Thank you very much, Professor. We appreciate your presentation. And
Thank you.
you're welcome. I'm going to welcome Dr. Samriti Mahajan as she speaks on the known, cultivating critical thinking through inquiry-based learning. Over to you, Dr. Samriti. Is Dr. Samriti there? Okay, I'm going to welcome Professor Professor Suraya Banu. Professor Suraya Banu is going to be
Yes.
speaking on reimagining higher education, embedding inquiry for deep and lifelong learning. Over to you, Professor Suraya Banu.
Very good evening. This is Dr. Surya from India. Reimagining Indian higher education focuses on shifting from passive rote learning to active, inquiry-based and learner-centric models. Case studies involve multidisciplinary curricula, NEP 2020, integrating technology, fostering research, and enhancing industry academia synergy to ensure lifelong learning. By adopting flexible, skill embedded, and multilingual frameworks, Indian University aim to foster critical thinking, resilience, and global competence. The key pillar for remaining higher education in India, inquiry-based learning and pedagogy, shifting from teacher-centric to learner-centric models where faculty act as facilitators. This involves discussion-based seminars, research, and experimental learning. Multidisciplinary approach, NEP 2020, breaking down silos between disciplines is to offer a flexible, holistic education that allows students to combine subject fostering critical and creative thinking, technology, and blended learning, utilizing artificial intelligence for personalized learning and leveraging hybrid models that combine online and offline methods, which accelerated post COVID. Lifelong learning and flexibility, utilizing frameworks like the Academic Bank of Credits and National Credit Frameworks to allow flexibility and enabling learners to acquiring qualification at their own pace. The challenges, strategies, directions are faculty development, transitioning educator from traditional roles to mentors capable of fostering critical inquiry, digital divide, ensuring equitable access to technology and learning across diverse regions. Now, I conclude reimagining higher education in India requires a foundational shift from rote memorization to a dynamic student-centric model driven by inquiry-based learning. The goal is to produce graduates who are not merely employable but capable of critical thinking, adapting to uncertainty, and conducting self-directed lifelong learning. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much, Professor Suraya Bano, for that
Yeah, hi.
amazing presentation.
Good
Thank you
evening,
for challenging
Gloria.
us to rethink higher education as a space for inquiry, for deep inquiry and lifelong learning. Thank you very much, ma'am. We appreciate you. Thank you. And okay, Dr.
Yeah, I
Samiti, okay, over to you.
yeah. Thank you so much. There was a technical glitch that time, so I was not able to convey.
It's
Yeah,
fine.
thank you so much. And the topic which has been given to me that has been diligently curated by you, the role of curiosity and inquiry in deep learning. So let me start with a simple question: why do children learn so quickly as comparison to the adult people? So it's not because they have better teachers or more structured lessons. It's because they are naturally curious about to know. They constantly ask why, how, and what if. So today I want to talk about how curiosity and inquiry play a crucial role in achieving deep learning. Not just memorizing facts, but truly understanding and applying the knowledge. First, let's understand what we mean by deep learning. So, deep learning goes beyond surface level of our knowledge. It's not about remembering information for an exam, but it's about connecting our different ideas, thinking critically, and being able to use knowledge in our new situations, whatever it's coming on our path. So, this is where curiosity comes in. Curiosity is the driving force that pushes us to explore beyond what is given. When you are curious, you don't just accept information, you question it. You want to know why something works the way it does. For example, let's take instead of just learning that gravity exists, a curious learner asks, why do objects fall? What would happen if gravity doesn't exist? So, these are the questions that lead to deeper understanding. Now, let's talk about the inquiry. Inquiry is curiosity in action. It also involves asking questions, investigating, and seeking the answers. Inquiry based learning always encourages the students to actively participate rather than passively just receiving the information by sitting in the classrooms or in any lecture hall. So, whenever the learners engage in inquiry, they go through three processes, that is, analyze problems, explore different perspectives, and develop critical thinking skills. This process helps the brain make stronger connections, which leads to better retention and understanding. So let's consider a classroom example. Imagine two students learning about climate change. One memorized definition and statistics. The other asks like, how does the climate change affect my city itself? What solutions I can contribute? So what do you think? Will remember and apply this knowledge better? So clearly the second student who is more curious, who had some inquiries in the mind, so he would be in better understanding. So, curiosity and inquiry also build the lifelong learning habits. In a world that is constantly changing, the ability to ask questions and seek knowledge is more valuable than memorizing the fixed information. So, just to conclude, curiosity sparks the desire to learn, and inquiry turns that desire into deep understanding. Together, they transform learning from passive activity into engaging a meaningful journey. So, next time you learn something new, don't just ask what, ask why, ask how, and most importantly, never stop being curious. We always need to learn, unlearn, and then relearn the process. So, that should be into our kids, into the students, and into everyone. So, thank you so much. That's all from my end.
Thank you very much, Dr. Samrit, for that amazing presentation, for reinforcing the importance of critical thinking and the courage to question established ideas. And I love the ideas that you put in Inquiry-based learning always encourages the student to actively participate rather than passively just receiving the information by shifting in the classrooms or in any lecture hall. And you also mentioned three processes. Yes, you mentioned three processes, which are analyzing the problem, exploring different perspectives, and also developing critical thinking skills. Thank you very much for that amazing presentation. Thank you. We appreciate you. Thank you. And I'm going to move over to Dr. Hussein Maktoum as he talks about neuroscience of curiosity, how inquiry shapes deep learning pathways. Over to you, Dr. Hussein.
Thank you very much, everyone. What if I told you that the most powerful tool for learning is not intelligence, not talent, but curiosity? Curiosity is the spark that ignites the brain. From a neuroscience perspective, curiosity activates the brain's reward system, releasing dopamine, the same chemical linked to motivation and pleasure. When we become curious, our brain quite literally prepares itself to learn. It becomes more alert, more engaged, and more receptive. But curiosity doesn't just make learning enjoyable, it makes it deeper. When we ask questions, our brain form stronger neural connections. Instead of passively receiving information, we actively seek meaning. This process strengthens memory retention and enhances understanding. In simple terms, curiosity transforms information into knowledge and knowledge into insight. Think about it. When you are genuinely curious about something, you don't just memorize, you explore, you connect, you challenge. That is where deep learning happens. Curiosity also derives critical thinking. It pushes to go beyond the surface, to question assumptions, and to innovate. Every great discovery, every breakthrough in history began with a simple question: why or what if? In education, in leadership, and in life, fostering curiosity is essential. Instead of giving answers, we must encourage questions. Instead of limiting thinking, we must expand it. Because when curiosity leads, learning becomes limitless. So I leave you with this. Don't just seek answers, seek understanding. Don't just follow knowledge, question it. And most importantly, never lose your curiosity because it is the gateway to deeper learning and greater discovery. So we must teach our understudies to ask the right questions. That's all from my side. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you, Dr. Hussein, for helping us understand the science behind curiosity and its powerful role in shaping deep learning. Curiosity is the spark that ignites the brain, as he said, and from a neuroscience perspective, curiosity activates the brain towards the brain-aware system, releasing something very unique, and that same chemical link the motivation and pleasure. So thank you very much. I love the aspect that you say that curiosity does not just make learning enjoyable, that it makes it deeper. Thank you very much. Thank you. We appreciate your presentation. And I'm going to move over to our next speaker for today, Ambassador Lagmani Kumari, as she speaks on cultural perspective on curiosity, learning through questions across science societies. Over to you.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
You're
Respected Gulaya ma'am, Rania ma'am, Nice sir, Kamalan sir, Yala ma'am, Nalam sir, Akwa, Alwa Agni ma'am, and everyone. Thank you to this opportunity. Today's topic culture perspective on curiosity learning through questions across societies. This topic explores how different society knew the act of asking question. West culture curiosity is often celebrated as a spark more innovation. Students are encouraged to ask questions and challenge ideas. On the other hand, in many Asian society, learning through question is guideline by respected and harmony. Here, observed and dislearning are very important. This topic teaches us that while curiosity is universal, the we express it depends on our culture, values. Understanding these perspectives help us to connection better in this globalization world. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much.
Thank you very much, Ambassador Lagmani, for that beautiful and explicit presentation. Thank you for reminding us that curiosity is universal, yet beautifully expressed across cultures. Thank you very much. We appreciate your
Thank
presentation.
Welcome, ma'am.
And I'm going to move over to our next speaker, Dr. Binita Prakash. Dr. Binita Prakash, are you there?
Yes, I am here. I'm waiting for my turn.
Okay, yes. Thank you very much. Your question.
And praying for better network.
Okay, go ahead.
And also praying for better network. May
Yeah,
I start?
hopefully your network will obey today's session. So your topic is
Yes.
emotional intelligence and curiosity, creating safe spaces for inquiry. Over to you.
Thank you so much. And very good evening to one and all. My topic, as you have already stated. So I just let start. Let me begin with a simple thought. People don't learn where they feel just, but they learn where they feel safe. In today's fast changing world, knowledge alone is not enough. What truly sets individual apart is emotional intelligence. The ability to understand our own emotions, to empathize with others, and to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. Alongside, this curiosity acts as the engine of growth. It drives us to ask questions, to explore, and to challenge the status quo. But here is the real question. Can curiosity truly thrive without emotional safety? The answer is no. Imagine a classroom, a workplace, or even a home where people are afraid to speak up, afraid their questions might sound stupid, afraid of being laughed at or misunderstood. In such an environment, curiosity dies silently, and with it, innovation, creativity, and growth. This is where emotional intelligence plays a powerful role. When we practice emotional intelligence, we begin to listen without interrupting, respond without judging, and understand without assuming. These small actions create something powerful, a safe space for inquiry, a space where welcomed, not criticized, where mistakes are seen as learning opportunities, not failures. Creating such spaces is not complicated, but it is intentional. It starts with empathy, putting ourselves in someone else's place. It grows with respect, valuing every voice, no matter how small. And with encouragement, celebrating curiosity rather than suppressing it. As educators, leaders, or even peers, we must ask ourselves, are we creating environment where people feel safe to ask why, how, if? Because every great discovery, every breakthrough, every innovation in history began with a simple question. Let us build spaces where questions are not feared but inspired. Let us replace judgment with understanding and silence with dialogue. And most importantly, let us remember When emotional intelligence leads, curiosity flows, and when curiosity is free, learning becomes limitless. Thank you so much. That's all about my side.
Thank you very much. That was
Without any
amazing.
interruption of the network.
Yeah. You can see the prediction was very great. Our network obeyed us today. Thank you for highlighting the importance of safe, supportive environment for inquiry. When we practice emotional intelligence, as you said, we begin to listen without interrupting and also respond without judging and understanding without assuming. So these small actions, as you said, create something powerful, a safe space for inquiry, a space where questions are welcomed and not criticized. That was awesome. Thank you very much, Dr. Benita. That was an amazing presentation. Thank you. And moving on to the last but not the least speaker for today, I hereby welcome Ambassador Oluwabumi Anani. Ambassador Oluwabumi, are you there?
Yes, I am here.
Ambassador Oluwabumi is going to be speaking on from curiosity to voice, empowering learners to ask, think, and lead. The floor is yours.
Okay. Yes, thank you so very much to our dear Dr. Gloria Ayogu for this opportunity, our amicable and amiable CEO. And of course, to other speakers from all over the globe, I salute everyone. And I've been enjoying the presentation so far. Talking about my presentation tonight and the aspect I'll be talking about, I would like to first of all appreciate Dr. Aklima and Dr. Benita Prakash for doing justice because our topics seem to have seem to intersect. Now, my topic from curiosity to voice, empowering learners to ask, think, and lead supposes a situation whereby there is growth. That growth is happening and the child or the student has gained understanding because it takes understanding, ownership, and confidence to be able to move, from being curious, from asking questions to now talking about it, to providing contributions, to providing solutions. It's a process of growth. Now, but for this growth to happen, position of curiosity, of questioning, to be bold enough to join, to be in rooms where they can offer solutions to existing problems. What do we need to provide for all of this to happen? First of all, in addition to the voices that have spoken on the platform tonight, I would like to say that creating a safe space is very, very important. A safe space where every child is made to believe that I am important. I have something to say. My words carry value. My ideas are valid. I'm not weak. A safe space where there is no wrong answer. A safe space where every child is celebrated. And it is not out of pretense, but from a position of authenticity. In that kind of atmosphere, a child's curiosity is flamed and a child is bold enough to contribute his or her unique perspective to that table. Why? Because his or her answers will not be ridiculed, his or her answers will not be looked upon as being average, but his or her answers will be celebrated. And from one celebration to the other celebration, that child's confidence is boosted. Now, the second way we can empower, equip, and position our learners to move from curiosity to voice, which will lead them into thinkers and leaders, and of course, questioning people, is for us to embolden them to ask to do their research themselves. Remember, in today's century, our learners are co-creators. It isn't enough for us to give them the information. Let them go and search for the information themselves. Let them do in-depth study. Let them come back into the class to tell us what, how, where next. In fact, the what next is very important. You have carried out the research, so what next? In that case, the students are not just hunting for answers, but they're able to look inwards, harness their potentialities and resources, and believe in themselves that, look, my voice matters here. Then finally, apart from research, is it just enough for them to research and come back to tell us the answer? Why don't they take the lead? For them to have the prospect of leading, I think it is important for us to make them begin to practice what it means to lead. For example, in my just concluded class, prior to going on vacation, I had an instance where my students were made to carry out a research, and they came back into the classroom, and each of them taught us. I sat as a student, as one of the learners, and the student stood in front of the classroom to re-deliver on the topic that he or she has researched. Members of the class gave feedback. They gave another perspective. It was a collective ownership of the topic, of the subject, and of the session. That way, confidence was built. They were able to cross-examine one another. New understanding was created, and insight consists of this and create opportunity for learners to take the lead in the classroom. We are not only moving from curiosity to voice, but we are developing students who are empowered to take the lead, not just for today, but also for the future. Thank you.
Thank you very much, my sister B, for that inspiring reminder that when curiosity is nurtured, learners find their voice and step into leadership. And your insight challenged us to move beyond teaching content to cultivating confident thinkers and change makers. Thank you very much. We appreciate you. Thank you. And I'm going to, this brings us to the end of today's session. I think we've all, can you hear me? I think we've all presented. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, okay.
We can hear
So,
you.
okay, thank you everyone for staying with us till the end of the session. As we draw this remarkable session to a close, I extend my deepest gratitude to all our distinguished speakers for their insightful, thought-provoking, and inspiring contribution. Today we've journeyed through diverse perspectives, yet one message remained clear. Curiosity is the spark, and inquiry is the pathway to deep, meaningful learning. We have been reminded that education must go beyond answers to nurturing thinkers, innovators, and lifelong learners. So to our participants who joined us from across the globe, thank you for your presence, your engagement, and your commitment to growth. Let us leave this session not just inspired, but transformed, ready to create learning environments where questions are welcomed, curiosities are nurtured, and every learner is empowered. On behalf of a walkthrough education, I appreciate you all, and I look forward to our continued collaboration in shaping the future of education together. Thank you and have a wonderful evening. Thank you very much. And thank you all, everyone that were able to stay from the beginning of the session to this moment. I truly appreciate. God bless you all. Please, could you turn on your cameras? Let's take our photo shoot before we go. Please turn on your cameras. And thank God our network really favored us today. Can you hear me? Please, if you can hear me, please make a sound. It's like I can't.
Yes, we
Okay. And guess what? It's like my network is beginning to have, yes, because I can't see anyone. I can only see myself right now. All right, so I'm going to invite Dr. Rania to take over the photo shoot because I can't really see anyone. I don't know why my network is really doing this right now. So let's take the photo shoot. Are you there, Dr. Rania? Okay, Ambassador Nalam, please could you take over, or Dr. Gloria?
Yes.
Okay, I think I can see. Okay, I can see you guys now. I can see you guys now. All right, so I can see you now. Please turn on your cameras, please. Let's take our final photo shoot before we go. So I'm going to count the we're going to use our favorite emoji, the heart emoji. We're going to use the heart emoji as usual. So after the count of 5, we'll all click on the emoji at the same time. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go, everyone. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. All right, so have a good night rest and see you on Thursday for another series of our intellectual exchange. Bye and see you. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Good night. Bye.
Good night,
Bye.
everyone.
Good night, Lagmani.
Good night, ma'am.
Good night, Sup Sandia. Sup Sandia.
Subratri. Subratri.
Subratri. Sorry, Subratri.
Subratri. Subratri. From India.
Yes, Subratri. And in my dialect, I will say
Okay.
Kachifo. All right, bye.